It's been 40 years since George created Star Wars. It was breaking new ground in ways that no one had ever really seen before. Now moving into the next 40 years, every single person is doing their best work, which gives us this incredible opportunity to take us someplace we've never been.
The hardest thing about a trilogy is making sure that each installment earns its way into the story. Starting development on episode 8, it was important to us to really allow the next filmmaker the freedom to create the movie that they wanted to make.
Whoa! Rian Johnson is really incredible.
And action!
He's such a huge fan. He just had an amazingly good time taking these new characters and some of the legacy characters and moving us to this next place.
My name is Rian Johnson, and I wrote and directed The Last Jedi. For this movie, I wanted to focus on Rey, who really has to figure out who she is and how she fits into this story. When I was a kid, I grew up with Star Wars. It was a very meaningful thing for me. And working on a Star Wars movie, obviously it's a dream. I tend to work with the same people over and over. Steve Yudlin, my cinematographer, we met at film school. Never thought we'd actually be sitting next to each other on a Star Wars set. My producer, Ron Bergman, we've made all our movies together. We would just be on the set and suddenly make eye contact and just share a "can you believe we're actually here" moment. Star Wars is so much about getting your crew together and getting your friends who you know are going to stick with you and have your back and taking on something big. That's what it felt like we were doing with this.
If I can make movies with Ryan for the rest of my life, there's not going to be a happier person. Star Wars introduced me to kind of a world I didn't even know it's possible.
It's also been really exciting to be able to take the ideas that we're putting in these movies, the environments, and some of the character types, and figure out how can we give those to the fans as a real experience. I got to go out to where they're building Galaxy's Edge. Nothing prepared me for the scope and sheer immensity of what's being built out there.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the single largest land expansion project we've ever created.
Galaxy's Edge is Star Wars come to life, a very immersive experience that will blur the lines between imagination and reality.
I'm Scott Trowbridge, and I oversee the creative for Star Wars in Walt Disney Parks and Resorts around the world. There are a couple of those moments growing up that you just always remember. And for me, one of those was going to see Star Wars in the theaters for the very first time. It took me on a journey to a world that felt so different and so unique from anything I had seen before. From that day forward, I have always wanted to bring this amazing universe to life. And in 2019, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is giving our guests the opportunity to step inside that Star Wars universe. We are really taking a new approach to what a theme park land can be. You can meet those characters and live your own Star Wars story. One of the ways that we're evolving these theme park experiences is to give guests more of an opportunity to be part of that adventure.